Determined Soul, CJ Berry here, talking about Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, the beta. I think this beta is pretty solid. A lot of people have been really concerned about the online gameplay and things of that nature. And I think personally, I haven't had any issues. I'm pretty sure there's going to be that one guy that's like, yo, I had a crap ton of issues with this game. Out of the, I want to say I played a total of 25 matches. I had a 76% win rate, and I probably ran into like two out of that many matches that had some sort of lag. But I'm assuming some of that is server maintenance, because like right now, as I'm talking to you, it seems like there might be some type of maintenance going on. I'm not able to connect to nobody. I'm not able to connect to a room. I'm not able to create a room. But overall, when it was working well and working fine. The net code is freaking great. I think that's one of the things that was an issue with KOF 15 with day one. Hey, we're having issues immediately. So with this, doing this in March instead of right there in April 24th when it releases, I think that's a good deal, and I think it's a great idea that they did a beta test just like this. Another part of that is, hey, if you're like, hey, I'm not able to get online, they have the training mode. I think they did that on purpose this time. Last time they weren't able to do a training mode, and during that training mode, it was just a tutorial if you were able to do it. And I think that's where everybody's talking about, oh, I got the crack. Yo, stop getting on the cracked version of the game, guys. I would appreciate if you stop that, all right? But this one has a training mode, so when you have downtime like this and you're not able to get online, you're able to sit there and get in that training mode and level up. Of course, they have the tutorial, went through that. It's not a complex tutorial, it's very simple to understand. And then they have quite a few characters that you can choose from this one. My favorite right now is still Terry. Who doesn't like Terry? And I think I'm gonna rock with Vox after that. Everybody likes Preacher. She seems really cool, but I don't know if she's my cup of tea. She's a Muay Thai fighter. She kind of reminds me like a female version of Joe. She's not Joe, but she kind of has some similar moves where she has that little wind upper and a couple other moves that look really, really similar. You have the sub boss from the previous game in here, and then of course you have our favorite, our favorite waifu, freaking Mai. You know, and again, of course, you got a couple other characters. Like one of the characters that I actually want to play, and that's not here right now, is Marco, aka Butt. But that's okay. It's gonna release on the 24th. We still have some time. The biggest thing, and I'm gonna keep on saying this because I picked it up from somebody else. I say, yes, that's the thing that's missing in a lot of these games right here. The biggest thing that is missing out of majority of the SNK games, alongside with Tekken. Tekken has a cult following, right? I think we can all agree that Tekken has a cult following. It just is what it is. The people just really appreciate that game, and it's a AAA game. But the biggest thing is cultural impact, right? Why was Street Fighter and those two really specifically, why was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat so great? If you really think about it, the Street Fighter 2, it's a well put together game, but compared to where and how it evolved, it doesn't really compare, right? But it had cultural impacts to where, like, hey, that's a Street Fighter song. Hey, I got a Street Fighter shirt. If anybody says, hey, what type of games you play, and they don't play video games, and you say, oh, I play fighting games, they're gonna sit there and go, yeah, I'll do it. Or they're gonna go, hey, get over here. Fatality. Those are cultural impacts that these games have. And the games right now that have cultural impacts, Roblox, Minecraft, Fortnite. Those are the games that have cultural impact right now. And people are making references, even if they don't play the game, to those games, whether it's a dance, whether it's a phrase, or whether it's understanding how toxic the particular game is, and saying, oh, that's so Roblox, you know? That's what's there, right? I think that this game has so much potential, but in order for it to get over the edge, it has to give a whole lot of stuff to you, the music has to be on point. They got 11 DJs with Steve Aoki, or I think I'm saying his name right, alongside with 10 other DJs that are putting music into this game, right? SNK, I don't care what nobody says, SNK has never been a front runner of people going, yeah, that song got stuck in my head. Oh, I remember that one. Like, you'd be able to tell, like, oh, that's an SNK song, but you're not going to be able to say which game it came from, right? So here again, let's rewind. Cultural impact, right? If I go bum 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 bum, you're like, oh, that's Street Fighter 2 to be exact, you know? Or you go dun 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 dun. You'd be like, oh, that's Street Fighter. You know, you'll be able to immediately. Or if someone goes, I'm gonna take you for a ride, you're like, oh, that's Marvel vs. Capcom 2, right? I think everybody's gonna be able to say that about majority of Capcom games. I don't think we can do that with a lot of the other games that are out there, that again, to have that cultural impact, so that you can make references and grow a fondness towards the game. In addition to that, when's the last time you seen a guy with the SNK t-shirt? I haven't. You know, I think that's really, really important. And taking a jab at the game that I really enjoy the most right now is Tekken. It doesn't have a full-on cultural impact because they kind of refuse to create things that enhances what the game is, you know? Like, there's been a total of like 3 Tekken movies, right? They had the Tekken series that was on Netflix. They had another Tekken movie that was an anime movie. And then they had like a live action movie. And nobody remembers it, right? But when you talk about Street Fighter, there's an alpha one that was pretty decent. That one did the Dark Hado, and then they have the Street Fighter 2 animated movie. And everybody remembers it because it had cultural impact, right? Because Chun-Li was Buddha butt naked. We remember that, right? And then, hey, I want a Street Fighter shirt. Everybody had a Street Fighter shirt. They had Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li. The list goes on and on, right? Tekken tried to step into that, but Mortal Kombat did it better. You had the Mortal Kombat Dragon on the shirt. You had the Saturday morning cartoon. Yes, several really good movies. Like, I don't care what nobody says, Annihilation, it was bad, but it wasn't super bad, you know? But the first movie was like almost the standard for any video game movie that was live action, right? It was a really good and well put together movie. I think we all can agree on that. This game right here, this game right here, this one right here, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, I don't believe it has the cultural impacts unless they get that character, you know, Ronaldo. He might be a cultural impact, like, oh, remember the time the soccer player was there? And all those DJs that are going to get into this game, maybe that will bring some fond memories. But unless you're touching those young, rewind, we're not going to touch young kids. Unless we are interacting and impacting the lives of these young kids, we're not going to have a lasting game. We're not going to have a game that has the impact that we want it to have. It just kind of is what it is. We need to bring more people into the game more than anything else, and it has to have cultural impact. And I think that's the reason why they're trying to make the game so easy. I know a lot of us in the FGC are complaining about that, but they're really trying to tap in and reach out and get that younger audience so that they can grow those fond memories, very similar to the ones that I had as a young kid when it came to games like Killer Instincts, Street Fighter Alpha, Mortal Kombat, Rival Schools, and I can go on and on. The list goes on and on. But overall, this beta I think is pretty daggone solid, and I think we have a lot to look forward to when this game finally releases. But hey, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about this. Do you think the beta was worth our while? Do you think they should have just go ahead and released the game? Are you having a problem with this online gameplay? Is the netcode trash? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Success and victory. Don't block with your face, and I will see you guys on the next time. Peace. Peace the heck out.
We're cold. We're cold. We're mercy. For the mercy. For the mercy. $6 million.